Hello guys, let's go. My name is Dalaran, and in today's video, we'll be talking about Valor points. They got added in patch 9.05, and we were not sure for quite a while exactly how they will work. We knew that you could collect Valor points from dungeons as well as doing calling, so that's not new. We also knew that you could upgrade your gear with Valor points, gear from dungeons after patch 9.05. Nothing new there either. But the one question remained until we found out recently is how will this achievement system of KSM as well as the other achievements for dungeons and the gear upgrades work? Because if you guys were not aware, Val points work similar to PvP rating and Conquest. The higher the achievement you have for all the dungeons done, so like all dungeons done at a 5, 10, or 15 gives you different tiers of upgrades for a gear. And the biggest question is, since it's all tied to achievement, is it going to be account wide? That means, could you use your main to gear out your alts because of an achievement? Turns out you can. In this video, I want to go over exactly how to gear out your alts with Valor points. So let's go a bit into more detail. Valor points have been added in patch 9.5 as a currency for you to upgrade dungeon gear. As I mentioned earlier, it only applies to gear that you have gotten after the patch 9.5 has been released. You will know that a piece of gear from the dungeon can be upgraded when it has a rank to it. Right now, the maximum rank for PvE gear from dungeons is to a max rank of 12. All these ranks correspond to different item levels. Like for example, 12 would be 220 item level, which is the highest item level that you can upgrade a dungeon piece to. You upgrade that gear with Valor points, which is a new currency that was added, or I guess quote-unquote new, since it was a currency that was used in previous expansions, but I guess it's still new to Shadowlands. And you've earned Valor from Mythic Pluses as well as other content where you don't actually need to dive into the dungeons themselves in order to get the currency, which will be great for many of you that have alts. But before you can upgrade this dungeon gear, you do need a couple different requirements. So those requirements are going to be a couple achievements. Some of them the Blizzard did add recently in this patch. The first achievement is going to be Shadowlands Keystone Explorer Season 1, where you complete all Shadowlands dungeons of Season 1 at a Mythic Plus level 5 or higher. The next achievement is going to be an upgrade from that one called Shadowlands Keystone Conqueror Season 1, where you get all your dungeons done at a 10 or higher. And you probably guessed it, the final one is going to be the KSM achievement, Shadowlands Keystone Master Season 1, where you get every single dungeon done on a 15 or higher. That one also rewards a mount, which is a seasonal mount, and it looks like they're going to make it a regular thing where they add seasonal mounts with KSM achievements every season. So this method for gearing your alts is limited if you're someone who does keys in a regular. So if you've done all keys at a 5 or a 10 or 15 even, then you can gear up your alts very easily. However, some of you guys haven't done those achievements, and now might be the perfect time to do it. If you want to level some alts and get them up and running, earning Valor in comparison to some of the other content is really easy, and it can be done without even stepping a foot inside of the dungeon. Something you can kind of just do casually on the side and collect points to convert into better upgrades for gear over a period of time. So how do you unlock Valor points, and what is the smartest way of going about upgrading your gear to item level 220 or less? So first of all, Valor points can be earned through two ways. Mythic Pluses, which makes sense. It's a currency for Mythic Pluses with Mythic Plus gear. Of course, you get it from doing Mythic Plus, but also you can earn it by doing callings. Callings is something that I don't really do on my alts nearly as much because it doesn't feel as rewarding as they were back in BFA. Back in BFA, you had to grind AP and you can get gear from them. Callings don't always reward you gear, and since AP is no longer a player currency for power, but rather a cosmetic thing that you can apply to get small upgrades for your Covenant Hall, but they don't impact your player performance at all. So I stopped doing them, and I think a lot of you guys stopped doing them as well. But now doing callings will now reward you Valor. Every time you complete a calling and you turn it in, it rewards you with 35 Valor points, which is quite a bit for just doing some dailies. And if you're someone who has a bunch of walls that you don't really do your callings all that much, you probably have 3 callings saved up. So in a single day, you can get yourself slightly over 100 Valor points in a single sitting. Then you also have Valor points earned from Mythic Pluses. And right now, and this could change in the future, it's a static 135 Valor every dungeon you complete. It doesn't matter if it's a higher level dungeon or a lower level dungeon. So right now, a viable method to grind out Valor is to just actually do a bunch of low level dungeons. This is perfect because I actually just swapped a bunch of characters to different covenants because I want to try different playstyles, and there was a lot of covenant changes in patch 9.05. And I need renown, and Mythic Pluses is a great place to catch up on a bunch of renown. So what I've been doing is running my guildies that are trying out new characters and need gear through lower end keys. I collect renown as well as Valor, and they get some loot on top of it. It's the most perfect situation of two birds with one stone, and there's quite a lot of characters I decided to change covenants to because there's so many cool combinations and now things are looking a lot stronger. So someone like a Venti or Survival Hunter or a Maldraxian Warrior are actually a possibility going forward. So after you've done a couple callings and you've done a couple Mythic Pluses, how do you upgrade the Valor gear? Blizzard didn't add a specific vendor for you to do so, however you already have the tools in game right now. If you've ever used the Honor upgrade vendor, he will also be able to upgrade those dungeon pieces for you. Or if you go back to your Covenant Sanctum, there's usually an upgrade vendor there too. Normally they upgrade your Covenant gear, like the stuff you'll get throughout your campaign, but now they will also use all that value you collected to up the item level of those dungeon pieces you're looking to upgrade. Now, what are the prices of all these pieces? And we have a full list right now. It is looking kind of expensive depending on what you're trying to upgrade, but maybe this will be pretty fair. We do have a pretty big cap to catch up to with Valor, since Season 1 of Shadowlands has been a thing for quite a bit. Blizzard added quite a massive, hefty catch-up for us to gain. Right now it's 5,000 Valor points we can catch up to, so spending all that Valor can mean huge upgrades if you find that best in slot piece. So the prices will probably shift and Blizzard will maybe make some things less expensive, but I think it's a start at least. The bigger the upgrade is, like a massive two-hander versus a single ring, the more expensive it becomes, so that stuff makes sense. But since Valor upgrades cost quite a bit, what is the best method to upgrading gear? First of all, it is best to get gear from higher level keys. The highest you can get it, that means it'll be less Valor for you to spend to catch up to the highest item level upgradable. So for example, I have the KSM achievement on my account. That means I can upgrade gear to maximum item level of 220. If I were to do, let's say, a Mythic 0 and get a, let's say, a sword that's really good in stats for me, that would be a lot of Valor to go from literally rank 1 to rank 12. However, if I were to do a 15 and get that sword, same sword, at a 15, it'll start at an item level of 210. And that's a lot smaller gap for me to kind of climb to reach to 20 item level. So this way I'll spend less Valor to reach that high of a number. And that's probably the best economical way of going about it, is to do the highest possible keys you can until you find that one specific sweet piece. And if you are to spend Valor, I would probably recommend doing it on only the best item level pieces, the best in slot stuff. There's a lot of websites that give you kind of like a rundown of what your character is supposed to look like. It's a good idea to look up best in slot sets, like on guides on Wowhead or any of the class guides. I'll look at some of the sims for best in slot trinkets, legendaries, you name it. So quite a bit of research needs to be done to find the best piece of gear that your character can use. But once you find the one that fits you the best, the one that you like the most, the trinket that synergizes so well with your playstyle, just the greatest, those are the pieces that you'll want to funnel all your Valor. Because when those pieces turn into the highest item modes you could possibly reach, you'll probably have the biggest gains out of those. And that's going to be my video on Valor points, as well as trying to gear up your alts. I understand that this achievement and this farming style of gear is tied to, well, an achievement. Not everybody is going to have that achievement, but this is a perfect time for you guys to get into keys and try to see if you can push up to them. I would recommend finding some pre-made groups, not the pug style, but really looking for groups that want to push keys, that want to improve, maybe like communities and such, or maybe Discord communities even. Now would be the perfect time to maybe even look for a PvE guild that's looking to get some raiding progress and even do some dungeons on the side. Right now would be the perfect time if you want to gear up your characters through dungeons, because this is the only way for you to use your main's progress, in a sense, to upgrade your alts to a better space when it comes to gear. This is quite new and quite exciting, and I'm so glad that Blizzard did this, because I'm definitely going to take advantage of this. I have a lot of alts already up that are trying to reach a higher item level, and I have a lot of alts that are still waiting to get to max level 60, so I'm just gonna wait until they're max, and then I'm gonna run them, get them as much Valor as I can, find those best in slot pieces, and upgrade them to the max. But thank you guys so much for checking out this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what your thoughts about the Valor upgrades coming out in patch 905. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.